Hi, my name is Kate Bremerman, and this is Module 7 for EDL 901. And today we're going to go over what a technology infrastructure audit would look like in our district and a couple of changes that I think we need to make within our technology systems after going through this module and seeing what an audit would look like if it were to take place within our district. So to start off with, we have the team, the actual auditing team. And within a team, you should have a district level administrator. To me, that would preferably be a superintendent or assistant superintendent, depending on how big your district is and who all you feel like needs to be on that team. Next would be a building level administrator. I know within our district we have 9 different buildings. I don't feel like each 9 of those people need to be on a team, but 1 or 2 from each level I think would be beneficial. I would also encourage a technology director to be on the team, and then pulling the teachers in, 1 teacher per level, elementary, middle, and high. And then I also said to include 2 site council members, pulling that community team in just so they can know what's going on in the district and help make those decisions. I would try and be strategic with who I picked for my site council and community and find those people that have a little bit of technology background, maybe work in the private sector that have technology background, just so they at least have some knowledge when it comes to what technology looks like within our district. So the purpose of an audit, and something I think that maybe got overlooked a little bit in this module, is that an audit takes the guesswork out of knowing how and where to invest resources. You look through things that get board approved and technology purchases and different things that we have within our technology department, and it doesn't always seem like there's a long-term plan. And it doesn't always seem like we have the resources we need, and then sometimes we have resources that we don't need. So by conducting an audit, you can completely take the guesswork out of knowing exactly where you need to invest your resources. Schools require reliable, scalable connectivity to provide students access to the digital tools necessary for a world-class education. To meet these needs, we need to have a robust technical infrastructure that extends high-speed wireless connectivity to every classroom and instructional space. The lack of high-speed broadband is disproportionately common in rural areas, like the one I teach in, and other under-resourced communities. So without giving this adequate access to students in these areas, they could easily miss the benefits of educational technology entirely. They can also miss the opportunity to develop critically important digital literacy skills needed for success in today's workforce. So I know as I went through this, I felt like that was one of the areas that we were really weak in, is just giving connectivity to all of our families and our buildings in our district. There's some inequities there that I think probably need addressed. So in getting started, the first thing that should happen is to assess the current situation and set the future goals. If you're able to start with an end goal in mind, you'll be able to go further. And then what is the vision for learning and technology, and will that be supported? It will be important to go through different communities, maybe some onboarding type of situations or some community open forums to throw out your vision and redo it and see what the people want and help it be more driven within the community. That way it's supported when it's laid out. And then what digital learning resources will be needed to help our students be successful and through a K-12 lens, not just individual levels. So next we have the establishing robust infrastructure and systems that are needed. So I touched on it a little bit earlier, but schools require reliable and scalable connectivity to help provide the student access to the digital tools necessary for a world-class education. And then letting teachers lead. Our teachers know what's needed within the classroom. So letting them help establish that infrastructure and helping tell us what systems are in place. I'm always surprised how little of our first, second, third year teachers know about our student information system. Just for example, I'll have them do a behavior referral and I'll just tell them to enter it into our person documents. And some are like, I have no idea where to even find that at. And it's because we've cut teachers out of the picture sometimes with those systems. And I think it's really important to put them back into it and let them lead. And if they have some of those tools, it'll make their job so much easier. But we've done a poor job in our district of giving the appropriate training and professional development to make sure that they even know systems that we have in place and then helping them create other systems that could be helpful. So some resources for supporting the effective use of technology, and I went with the current and future. I think it's important to look, do staff and students have email access? One of the first things I did when I took my building over was to make sure that all of my classified staff knew how to actually open their email. It was crazy to me how many didn't. I email constantly. I'm overly connected, I would say. And sometimes I'll get an email answer like 2 weeks after I've sent an email, and I just forget that people don't sometimes even know how to access their email, much less check it hourly. Next, do you have a school website? That's another thing that we have really improved in our district over the past couple of years. We actually just switched providers to make our website more easy to navigate. Can you support online learning delivery? Before COVID, I think that was probably a no, pretty much statewide. I think now we have much stronger supports for online delivery. Can you automatically filter website content? Do staff and students have remote access to school network? And do staff and students have secure wireless access to your network? Those last two bullet points are ones that I have spent quite a bit of time on, just seeing what it looks like to have remote access to the school network, and then having secure wireless access to our network. So privacy and security was kind of the next big topic within a technology audit. And that went to, do you have a firewall on your network? Do you conduct regular security assessments? Can you detect and delete email spam automatically? Can you scan your email automatically for viruses, worms, and malicious content? Are your PCs protected from malware? And can you restrict access to confidential information? Luckily, when I kind of did just a very vague audit on just what we have, I would say yes to all of those. We have a great firewall. Our tech team does a really good job of making sure that our network is private and secure. They also do a great job. We've had one breach in the past 3 years that I've worked here, and it was identified within an hour, and parents were notified within 2 hours, and I think it ended up only affecting a handful of kids. So they did a really good job of detecting that breach and handling it appropriately. I was extremely impressed. So then I looked at board policy a little bit. I was actually really surprised at the lack of board policy we had when it came to technology, especially when it came to privacy and security. The only thing I could really find within it was our policy IFBF, and it was the equitable distribution of technology. And that one just stated that all students will have appropriate access to available technology to enrich their learning environment. Appropriate access will be based upon availability of technology, school improvement plans, the curriculum, and student needs. I went through and looked quite a bit for our plagiarism policy because I thought we had one, but all I could find was the one within our handbook that basically stated that plagiarism would be handled on an individual basis by the building principal. I didn't realize that we didn't have anything within our board policy that helped with plagiarism. So that would be my first proposed change, is to get a policy that helps support plagiarism. And then again, something with student security. And then we also didn't have anything about technology renewals and resources and how often we were going to look through what we needed to update. We have a ton of things for instruction and instruction curriculum and how often that will be updated and reviewed and how the committees are formed. But there was nothing on the technology side about how we would look through renewals. We do have a technology handbook for staff that gets sent out and updated monthly, and it's like a 30-page long document. That went through a couple of steps on how renewals would look and what to do if you felt like we needed to add or get rid of some of our technology pieces. But again, there was no board policy. It was all just within handbooks. So lastly, we have our strategic partnerships. Throughout the school improvement process, district leaders should communicate objectives, progress, and results with all relevant stakeholders. I think this is an easy transition, especially if you have site council members on your original auditing team, to help bridge that strategic partnership to fill in all other relevant stakeholders. And then again, just pulling in stakeholders from all areas. It's easy to just stay boxed into your building or even to the district level, but how can we pull in our community members that, you have those taxpayers that don't have students within the school district? How can we pull those patrons in to help understand what our technology vision looks like within our district? And that wraps up the technology audit that we have for USD 373. My last page has all of the references. I used a couple from our last module and then all of the ones in this one. Thank you.